I thought I'd share with you this session some personal experiences that happened in our family many years ago. My brother, who just turned 14, accidentally electrocuted himself. I was approaching the age of 16 at the time, and it was such a tragedy. It threw our family into mayhem, in actual fact. My mother started searching for answers as to, if we're here today, gone tomorrow, is life so transient? What's the meaning of life? Is there any purpose to life? And she started on a path of search to relieve all the suffering that she had regarding her second son, who had suddenly passed away. My father, unfortunately, never recovered from that. He never searched for anything, but he was just grieving, I think, for the rest of his life, although he had 4 other children, of course. This search for answers to, is there life after death, the meaning of life, a meaningful life, is there purpose in life, led us eventually to the Bahá'í teachings. And we became so attracted to the teachings on life after death, and many other teachings, of course, that they gave us great consolation. And this is a story about, just read out a little event. This is about a child who was ill and who passed away. Abdul Baha, one of the great souls within the Bahá'í faith, said to the lady, to the mother who's experiencing this passing away of a lovely child through illness, he said to her, "There is a garden of God. Human beings are trees growing therein. The gardener is our Father. When he sees a little tree in a place too small for her development, he prepares a suitable and more beautiful place where she may grow and bear fruit. Then he transplants that little tree. The other trees marvel, saying, 'This is a lovely tree. For what reason does the gardener uproot it?' The divine gardener alone knows the reason. You are weeping, but if you could see the beauty of the place where she is, you would no longer be sad. Your child is now free, and like a bird is chanting divine, joyous melodies. If you could see that sacred garden, you would not be content to remain here on earth. Yet this is where your duty now lies." So it was stories like that and other things within the Bahá'í writings that gave us great hope and comfort and knowledge, in actual fact, that there is a life to come. And it's a beautiful place. It's a wonderful place, as experienced by those people who had near-death experiences. But at the end of this, Abdul Baha says, this is where your duty now lies, to remain on earth. So in another place, it says that if the veil between this life and the next life were taken away, none of us would want to stay here. We would all rush into the next life. But there is a veil because we have a duty to stay here and to make our contribution to the betterment of society. Another little story was of a woman, and it goes like this. Last night, she said to Abdul Baha, I dreamed that I was in a garden of such beauty that it seemed beyond the power of the most perfect human gardener to have created it. In this garden, I saw a beautiful girl, about 19, who was caressing the flowers. As I came into the garden, she lifted her lovely head and came towards me with outstretched arms, as though in great love and joy at my visit. I looked at her amazed, and then I saw a startling remembrance to the tiny daughter I lost many years before. Abdul Baha smiled his miraculous smile. My child, you have been permitted to see your daughter as she is now, walking in the sacred garden of one of the worlds of God. This is a bounty of God to you. Rejoice and be happy. It's a lovely experience for that mother. And it makes you think about children as well who go into the next world and are not born here. In actual fact, they go straight into the next world. This story enables us to think about children who go into the next world as a result of a miscarriage. So in actual fact, they're not born into this world, don't experience this world. And from a Bahá'í point of view, they are children. They came into existence at the time of conception. The soul was aligned to the body at the time of conception. This is what it says in the Bahá'í writings. And consequently, if they go into the next world before being born here, they're still children and they still grow up. So all those children that have gone in through that means are children in the next world. We say, my wife and myself, we say, okay, we have 3 children, but my wife miscarried on 1 child. So when we realize that we have 4 children, 3 still in this world and 1 in the next world. Another little story is told of a woman whose husband had died, and she was grieving tremendously for her husband, and she went to Abdu'l-Bahá for some consolation. And she was told, if you have a bed of lilies of the valley that you love and tenderly care for, they cannot see you, nor can they understand your care. Nevertheless, because of that tender care, they flourish. So it is with your husband. You cannot see him, but his loving influence surrounds you, cares for you, watches over you. They who have passed into the divine garden pray for us there as we pray for them here. So there seems that there's this wonderful connection, of course, between the next world and this world. Although they seem distant from each other, separated from each other, all the worlds of God, Abdu'l-Bahá says, are in this world. But what separates us from all these worlds is our inability to see them, understand them. We don't have the faculties to penetrate through those veils to understand and have a view of what all these worlds of God are. But when the soul passes away, or passes into the next world, I should say, it's the start of that journey throughout all the invisible worlds of God. And it says in the Bahá'í writings that just as this physical universe has infinite numbers of worlds, then when we go into the invisible universe, the next world, that will be the first stage of progressing through these invisible worlds of God that are infinite also. So there's continuous progress of the soul as the potential of the soul is brought out throughout its development. We just don't know the full potential of our soul. And to realize this is coming to a great understanding. It's one of the culminations of being here on earth, is to realize the potential of our soul is basically infinite. It will go on and go on and go on. And to realize that God who created the soul, of course, is even greater than that. This is the acme of our understanding here on earth. So we will progress throughout all these wonderful worlds of God, where our potential will gradually be unfolded, come to light, because there's so much hidden secrets within the soul of each person. No matter what the body goes through, the soul itself has been created perfect, and it will arise to its perfection. Here's another story, and again it's on the death of a son. Abdu'l-Bahá says, although the loss of a son is indeed heartbreaking and beyond the limits of human endurance, yet one who knoweth and understandeth is assured that the son hath not been lost, but rather has stepped from this world into another, and she will find him in the divine realm. That reunion shall be for eternity, while in this world separation is inevitable and bringeth with it burning grief. Praise be unto God that thou hast faith, art turning thy face toward the everlasting kingdom, is the next life, and believest in the existence of a heavenly world. Therefore be thou not disconsolate, do not languish, do not sigh, neither wail nor weep, for agitation and mourning deeply affect his soul in the divine realm. That beloved child addresseth thee from the hidden world. O thou kind mother, thank divine providence that I have been freed from a small and gloomy cage, and like the birds of the meadows have soared in the divine world, a world which is spacious, illumined, and ever gay and jubilant. Therefore lament not, O mother, and be not grieved. I am not of the lost, nor have I been obliterated and destroyed. I have shaken off the mortal form, and have raised my banner in this spiritual world. Following this separation is everlasting companionship. Thou shalt find me in the heaven of the Lord, immersed in an ocean of light. It's an interesting one from so many angles, but there's the indication there that if we grieve for our loved ones that go on with this deep grief, then it's an impediment to the progress of their soul in the next life. Abdul Baha did say, mourning for agitation and mourning deeply affect his soul in the divine realm. So this love connection is still there. Feelings are felt, intimations of the spirit are felt within our own selves, within our own souls, and within the reality of the souls in the next world. In another place it says that when this world and the next world are co-related, when they are actually in tune with each other, absolute healing will take place. So all the problems of the world will vanish and disappear, because the connection between the spiritual world and this world will be so united as one that there will not be room for the type of suffering that we're experiencing today, unfortunately, through all the tests and trials that we go through. I'd just like to finish with this little story, and this is upon the death of a dear brother. Do not grieve for thy dear brother, who hath ascended from this mortal world to the eternal realm, and do not feel depressed. That drop has ascended to the limitless ocean, and that wandering bird has flown to the shelter and nest of the supreme concourse. Thou shalt find him at the effulgent gathering in the kingdom of mysteries. As to the dream thou didst have, that thy brother appeared fully dressed, clothed in the ornament of man, and that is the bounty of the All-Merciful. As to the bundle he had in his hand, it is his benevolent deeds and his serious look denoted his purpose to make thee realize the following fact. Consider to what bounty I have attained. Praise be to God that I am safe and well, and have on me the garment of piety, and carry in my hand the bundle of my deeds. I am alive and not dead. Consider closely. I am alive and have not passed away. Be thou attentive. And these were the comforting, consoling words of Abdul Baha, who himself lost 4 sons during infancy. His 3 daughters survived and grew up, of course, but 4 sons had passed away. And so he was not speaking from inexperience of the possibility of grieving, calamitous situations affecting the family. He was speaking from a deep knowledge and understanding of the relationship between this world and the next.